Metaphysical healing. Healings are always in proportion to our understanding of the truth about God, man, idea, body. Healing has nothing to do with someone out there called a patient. When anyone asks for spiritual help for healing, that ends their part in what follows until they acknowledge their so-called healing. We are not concerned with the so-called patient, the claim, the cause of the illness, or its nature, nor with his sins or fears. We are now concerned only with the truth of being, the truth of God, man, idea, body. The activity of this truth in our consciousness is the Christ, Savior, or healing influence. Failure to heal is a result of much misknowledge of the truth of God, man, idea, body. And this misknowledge stems primarily from orthodox religious beliefs which have not been rooted out of our thought. Few realize to what extent they are blinded by superstitious orthodoxy. There is only one answer to the question, what is God? And that answer is, I am. God is the mind, the life of the individual. Any mental hedging or inner reservation on this subject will result in ultimate failure. There is but one universal I, whether it is being spoken by Jesus Christ or John Smith. When Jesus revealed, "He that seeth me, seeth him that sent me," he was revealing a universal truth or principle. There must be no quibbling about this. You either understand this truth or you do not. And if you do not, there is no need for you to seek any further reason for failure to heal. The revelation of Jesus the Christ is clear. I am the way, the truth, and the life. Unless you can accept this as a principle, therefore as the truth about you and about every individual, you have no foundation upon which to stand. The truth is that God is the mind and life of the individual. God is the only I. Next comes the question, what is man? The answer is that man is idea, body, manifestation. My body is idea or manifestation. Likewise, my business, home, wealth. These exist as idea or manifestation, expression, reflection. For this reason, and for no other, my body is the exact image and likeness of my consciousness and reflects or expresses the qualities, character, and nature of my own consciousness of existence. So far, then, we understand that I am God, that God is the mind and life of the individual, that my body exists as the idea of God. God, or I am, is universal, infinite, omnipotent, and omnipresent. Therefore, the idea body is equally indestructible, imperishable, eternal. It was never born and will never die. I shall never be without the conscious awareness of my body. Therefore, I shall never be without my body. When we look out upon the world with our eyes, we are not beholding our bodies. We are not seeing this infinite divine idea body. We are beholding a more or less universal concept of the idea. As we see a healthy body, a beautiful flower or tree, we are seeing a good concept of the idea body, flower, tree. When we see an aging, ailing body, or withered flower or decaying tree, we are beholding an erroneous concept of the divine idea. As we improve our concepts of idea, body, manifestation, we term this improving of concepts healing. Actually, nothing has happened to the so-called patient or his body. The change has come in the individual's consciousness and becomes visible as improved belief or healing. For this reason, the healer alone must accept responsibility for healing and never try to shift the blame for non-healing onto the person who asks for help. That individual is I am, life, truth, and love, and his body exists as perfect, spiritual, eternal, harmonious idea, subject only to the laws of principle, mind, soul, spirit. And it is our privilege, duty, and responsibility to know this truth. The truth will make free every person who turns to us. As individual, infinite, spiritual consciousness, I embody my universe. I embody or include the idea of body, home, activity, income, health, wealth, companionship. And these are subject only to spiritual law and life. The body is not self-acting. It is governed harmoniously by spiritual power. When the body appears to be discordant, inactive, overactive, changing, paining, it is always the belief that the body is self-acting, that it of itself has the power to move or not to move, to ache, pain, sicken, or die. This is not true. The body is not self-acting. It has no intelligence or activity of its own. All action is mind action, therefore omnipotent good action. When we know this truth, the body responds to this knowing or understanding of truth. No change then takes place in the body, because the error never was there. It is entirely exchanging a concept for the truth that already is, always has been, and ever will be. Remember, there is no patient out there, and no body out there to be healed, improved, or corrected. Always it is a false concept or belief to be corrected in individual thought. When we begin to understand that the body is not self-acting, that it responds only to the stimulus of mind, we can disregard so-called inharmonious bodily conditions and abide in the truth that life is forever expressing itself harmoniously, perfectly, and eternally as the divine idea body. The understanding that I am individual, infinite, spiritual consciousness, embodying every right idea and governing them harmoniously, brings forth health, harmony, home, employment, recognition, peace, joy, and dominion. The understanding that this is true of every individual dispels the illusion of hate, enmity, opposition, and so forth. This also makes of you a practitioner, a healer, a teacher, whether or not professionally engaged in the work. We come now to face our orthodox superstitions and to leave them. Was Jesus sent into the world by God to save it from sin, disease, or slavery? No. God, the infinite principle, life, truth, and love, knows no error, no evil, no sin, and no sinner. Jesus so clearly apprehended this truth that this apprehension became the Savior, healer, teacher, even as it will in you. The activity of truth in individual consciousness is the only Christ. No person is ever the Christ. The activity of truth in individual consciousness constitutes the only Christ, the ever-present Christ who was before Abraham. The activity of truth in your consciousness is the Christ of you. The activity of truth in the consciousness of Buddha revealed the nature of sin, disease, and death to be illusion or mirage. The activity of truth in the consciousness of Jesus Christ revealed the nothingness of matter. It unfolded as a healing consciousness before which sin and disease disappeared and death was overcome. Every erroneous concept, whether of body or business, health or church, must disappear, as the right idea of these appear in individual and collective consciousness. What about Immaculate Conception or spiritual birth? The Immaculate Conception or spiritual birth is the dawning in individual consciousness of the activity of truth or Christ idea. It appeared in Jesus as the revelation that I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. He that seeth me, seeth him that sent me. The activity of truth in my consciousness, the Christ of me, is revealing that I am individual, infinite, spiritual consciousness, embodying my universe, including my body, my health, wealth, practice, income, home, companionship, eternality, and immortality. Let the activity of truth in your consciousness be your first and last and only concern. The Christ of you will also reveal itself in an individual, infinite way. There is no evil. Let us therefore stop the resistance to the particular discord or inharmony of human existence which now confronts us. These apparent discords will disappear as we are able to cease our resistance to them. We are able to do this only in proportion to our realization of the spiritual nature of the universe. Since this is true, it is evident that neither heaven nor earth can contain error of any nature, and therefore the unillumined human thought is seeing error in the very place where God shines through, discord where harmony is, hate where love abounds, fear where confidence really is. The work on which we have embarked is the realization that we are individual, infinite spiritual consciousness embodying within ourselves all good. This is the song we will sing, the sermon we will preach, the lesson we will teach, and until realization comes, this is our theme, our motif. It is a silver cord of truth running through every message.